So today we're going to talk about how to use Facebook for your business, how to set up a Facebook pixel, how to install it on your website, and why you even want to use it. So that's going to be our topic today. I'm going to go kick into Facebook, and I was going to do how to set the page up, because I think that's the first question everybody has. Let me click into screen sharing here. So we're doing screen sharing mode. And then we can start from there. And if anybody joins, they do. If they don't, too bad. They can go watch the video later and not get any questions answered. Well, it's their fault. They've been, and I'm going to tell them once we go back to real life, I'm going to tell them you had your opportunity. I told you that we were doing these things. So, because the other thing we're going to do is WordPress, how to use WordPress. And they've all been on me to do that too. I mean, I've got 40 to 80 people wanting to know how to use WordPress. They need to show up and actually come to. So the first thing you need to do is ask, do they have a actual page that belongs to their business? This is a personal page. And the difference between a personal page and a business page is that, and I guess the obvious answer, one's for business, one's for personal, but Facebook has restricted the appearance of those business pages. So unless you have a lot of engagement and a lot of people interacting with it, they will just not show your business. So what they're trying to do is force those business owners over into having to take a ad out to show their business and to develop those businesses. So, and how the ad's taken is often a mistake I see. So I think that's something you can bring back to your people is, hey, what is the right way to do an ad? So first question to ask them is, do you have a Facebook page? If the answer is yes, is it your personal page or did you set one up specific for your business? Because sometimes you ask that question and I get back from them, yes, I have Facebook, but what they're really telling me is that they have this page and they don't have a business page.
Okay.
Is there any talk about moving these seminars to? Yeah, we're doing it right now. People are, yes. Yeah, I just got an email that says, are you going to move the seminars to a live webinar? Yes, it's happening right now. All right, good. I'll answer him very quickly. Sorry about that. Okay, so in order to make a page, you can kind of come up here to create. You can kind of tell them where to start. They can go to page, and it says, is it a business or a brand or your community or a public figure? And the thing is that you're going to pick, of course, business or brand. You're going to put your name in, and you're going to pick a category. That category is extremely important. A lot of people try to get, I'm going to use the word cute with picking. They're all asking me when. They don't pay attention. Here, now. They pick the category, they pick a wrong category, or they try to be cute and overpick a category. I've had some come up and try to, they sell dog food and they try to say, well, we're a holistic pet massage person, or, something. Say what you do. Keep it simple. The more abstracted you are, the less likely people are going to be to utilize that. This is not the time or the place to be creative in your category idea. If you sell dog food, please say you sell dog food, nothing more. So that's the next thing. And I'm going to try to walk a little bit through this. So let me do this this way. SEO 411-2. Actually, let's do it this way. ACD, Y category. So I'm going to make this be, because I have the training arm of SEO 411. So let's kind of make a fake page for it that I'll probably end up keeping. So this is, I put in education because it's education. So my things are going to be, is it an education? Is it an education website? Which is it? And in this case, I'm just going to pick flat out education because the website itself is not an education website. It is actually my business website. So we're just going to say this piece is education. The one thing I'm going to tell you, let me see, let's see, page name. We have suggested SEO. What don't they like about that?
The capital and EO.
Oh, is that what that is? That's the difference between the two, huh? All right, let's do it. Let's go with what they say. Who cares? It doesn't make a difference. Good job. Good spotting that. I was like, what the heck? All right, so it's going to go ahead and create a page. And I then can start to add and update my profile. So let's go with update a profile picture. And it's going to ask me where. So I'm going to go SEO 411 logo. And let's go to Dell computer because I know I have one. So you're gonna put the logo in, of course. That's and this is just kind of the down and quick way to do this. There's one here. It's not gonna fit right, but it's okay. It says upload a cover photo. I'm gonna skip the cover photo because I don't know that I have one. I'm gonna tell it for this. I'm gonna say add online booking because that online booking is a way for people to communicate with you. Make sure all your people have an online booking function if they are a business like that they take appointments. The other thing is I would do at this point is I would start to make sure that I had ways to virtually meet with people. And I think that's something that's going to stay with us past this pandemic, as crazy as that sounds. But I think more and more people are going to be looking to do something like this. So I would make sure we kept any and all online options that we've now created. If you see here, it says online booking, and then it says list your services. And it's going to give me an idea of what I can showcase. Make sure this gets picked. Most people don't go in and find their services. And what I would do is I would go back to the end user at this point, and I would say to the end user, hey, have you gone through this? Have you gone and looked at these options? And I'm going to put online consultation, and I'm going to say it's 0. We will help free of charge with any SEO questions. All right, and we're going to give them free 30 minutes, and we're going to tell it they want me to do that. So we're going to, let's see, does it give me a free? And we're going to say save. Okay, so I've put my first thing in, have my services there. I would go down each and every aspect. I would make sure that your customers have a well-defined Facebook page, that they have videos, that they have photos, that they have, if they do events, put the events up. If there's things that you can do. So let's say you have a restaurant right now that's closed down. One of the things I might say to them is put on a daily cooking show to keep everybody reminding what you do, so that you have people out there still engaging with the public and still engaging with your brand, so that they can come back and people will stay presence of mind. Right now, it's crazy as this sounds, we have a Mexican restaurant. How do I make a tortilla? Does anybody know how to do that? Well, that might be something, because you can't buy tortillas because apparently all the tortilla making in the supermarkets are shut down because of the virus. So whoever makes tortillas at a Mexican restaurant, if you have one, I would go ahead and do a demonstration about how to do that and how's the proper way to do that. All these little things that kind of can keep you engaged. But these are the type of things that'll stay even after the virus goes. These things will kind of stay active. I have an Italian gentleman. We're going to do how to make gnocchi. Just anything that you can put up on these type things. So I'm kind of thinking about this in two different ways. Hey, this is the way you do it. But hey, how do I leverage this for the virus situation that we have going on here? So that's kind of where we're at on there. Why is everybody acting like I didn't tell them? I got another one. When? Now. It's the same now, right now. Everybody's writing back in saying, when is the meeting? I'm like, it's been the same meeting it's been for the last like 10 years. Why are you all acting like there's no meeting? I don't know.
I think it's because nobody knows what day it is anymore. Everything blends together. I have to look at my phone to figure out, is it Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? I don't know.
Maybe it's April Fool's.
Yeah, and I mean, that is a good point. I keep saying we're on Vegas time. So it's like, you ever go to Vegas and don't know what day it is and what time it is? That's the way. I have been home for 2 weeks and 1 day and feel like on one hand, I feel like it's been a day. And then the other thing, I'm like, it's only been 2 weeks. It's been the longest 2 weeks of my whole life.
Right. I felt like March was never going to end. March was the longest month of my life.
Yeah. We went from time flying by that we were saying, is it Christmas yet, to March was the never ending month. We're like Grandma's Day. So all right, so I'm not going to keep go painfully through this. You can pick people to invite, because I'm going to assume that most people have these kind of things set up, that they have their base Facebook pages set up, and that they know what they're doing with that part of it. But I would do a precursory review. And you see where it says create page, change username? I'm actually gonna, let me see if it'll let us at SEO. I'm gonna do it this way, SEO 411 ACADEMY. So we actually have a real name, because honestly, I did add this to the SEO 411 site recently because we do so much training. So this actually will have its own, and I can keep the class schedule here. I can keep
nice.
any online appointments and stuff. So I'm actually, as I'm doing this, I'm kind of doing it for real, even though it's kind of a demonstration. But I would go down each and every one of these, and it says set your page up for invite your friends. I'm going to go through and I'm going to pick all the people that I know that are attached to the business rather than just personal friends. Okay. So that would be the other thing I would do. I would encourage your customers to review what they have. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on instant replies, and I'm going to turn on away messages, because I think that's a good thing. Because if somebody sends me a text message, the answer, it's going to give a instant reply to it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. I'm going to let it go with the generic for right now. Because basically I don't want to have to take up valuable class time to fix that. So we set that up. Make sure that those people have instant replies, that their text messages or their messages through Facebook are answered immediately. Okay. The one other thing I'm going to say to you, and this is a difference, I'm kind of looking at this in a little bit different manner. And what I mean is, you guys sell this kind of same stuff that I do. And what I run into a lot of the time is people telling me that they have a Facebook page in lieu of having a website.
I don't know.
And that is not a valid thing to do anymore. I don't know if you guys run into that, but it really is not a good idea to, overcoming those objections, or what people don't understand, is that having a Facebook page doesn't actually qualify or make anybody feel good about your business. It doesn't support your brand. It doesn't allow you to build your own business. And the one thing that I always have a concern of, and Facebook already has done this, is that when I put my business into Facebook and only use Facebook, what's going to happen is that when Facebook changes the rules, I'm beholden to Facebook. So when they turn the clamps down, and they said to everybody, well, we've changed our algorithm, so on and so forth. See, another one. I'm sorry, I keep marveling over all the people that keep asking me, when is this?
Another thing is that certain demographics don't even use Facebook. Right. I have a client, she's in her early 20s, and I mentioned something about running a Facebook campaign, and she said, Facebook is for old people. And I started laughing. Oh, sorry.
Well, and to her, 30 is old, so it's all worked out okay. Right. So there is that part of it too. But yeah, I think where I'm trying to say with all of this is that the objection, there's a lot of objections to doing just Facebook only type websites. I really caution everybody to do that. You are beholden, your business should never be dependent on the rules set forth by a third party entity.
Right, because
And
can you even
ahead.
do any SEO or SEM for a Facebook page? Like, there's no way you would show or perform in search engines if you only had Facebook. Is that right?
I could do an SEM campaign to it, but why would I? I'm only supporting Facebook. I'm not really supporting myself. And
Right.
SEO, what I will tell you is where Facebook's helpful from an SEO standpoint is here. Okay, so if I go SEO 411, and this goes for any third party entity that's out there. So I have my own website, right? Then I have LinkedIn, then I have Facebook, then I
Okay.
have Chamber of Commerce. So what I have basically done is stack the homepage of Google. When you Google my company, not that I have any out there. I mean, we have all good reviews from everybody, but what in essence I've done is I've utilized Facebook and put them in a spot where they're taking up the front page of Google. So any derogatory message possibly that would come up about my business, I've already dropped them in. So this is where they help, but you have to have some level of something.
Yeah, that's a different,
and I see that a lot. It's not a tactic that I believe in. I'm going to 100% say that. And I think it's disingenuous, the people that go out and say, hey, you just run your business right off Facebook. And I see it with Etsy, another one that has that same presentation that I just sell on Etsy. That's what I do. Well, you cannot just run your business off of Etsy. Okay.
Right.
So it's an unrealistic expectation. What you should be is taking the lead from Etsy and then moving that lead to your website. So their next purchase, they come back to you, but they come back through your website. And not through Etsy. And if you handle that right, you should do that. So I'm all for everybody having a Facebook page. I'm not all for everybody treating Facebook as their home page. That's the difference. So does that kind of make some sense there on that?
Yeah, thank you.
On what I'm saying and why, because I think it's an important thing to talk about on that, because I see it so much, and I just think it's not the right way to go. Okay, so let's see. So we're back. Let me go back over here to me. Where are you? Okay, so I'm going to go down this whole thing that they've put here for me to review, to make sure. See how they've created a checklist for me to do and turn things on, write my first post. I'm going to have to fix my logo, of course. In fact, I may make a logo just for this piece. I'll have to add a web page. There's a lot of things, but I see web pages, Facebook pages that are not actually filled out either. So make sure you kind of go through all of them and make sure that you kind of got a good handle on it. Okay, so the next thing that I find that comes up a lot is I'm going to run a Facebook ad. I hear it all day, every day, and then you have I don't know how to run a Facebook ad. How do I run a Facebook ad question?
And I'm only running Facebook forever.
And I'm only running Facebook ads. We do have that animal too. So what I have told everybody, and again, because I deal with more, I always believe in organic traffic first. That's really, to my mind, the best jump off point for everything. And there's a few reasons why for that. First of all, if I can get you organically to my webpage, I can drop pixels on those pages. And I'm going to explain how we do that here in just a second. But that Facebook pixel, or that even the Google also has a pixel, not meaning their camera. I have to keep quantifying that. But what that pixel does is when I put it in the header of my website, every person that goes gets that pixel dropped on their computer. And when they drop the pixel on the computer, what then ends up happening is every time I go to a property owned by the person that has that pixel, that ad will show up. So if it's Google, I have a Google pixel living on my website, and I go to the Knot, I may get ads from people that are about brides and bridal showers, because, and it may come back off of my ad will come up because they've had the pixel drop from my website. Facebook's the same way. So
did you know that, Lena?
No, I didn't. I always wondered how that worked.
Yeah, can we back that up one more time? So if organic traffic comes to your Facebook page?
No, if organic traffic comes to my website, I get a pixel drop for Facebook. So ideally what I want to do is get as many people as I can to hit my website, so that when they come back to Facebook, they get my ads.
They get served an ad. Okay.
They get served an ad. It's that pixel that's governing that. So if you run a Facebook set of ads and you don't drop the pixel, you've got a problem.
Okay, wait, let me just get this. So if organic traffic comes to your website, you can drop a pixel on what? Their
on their computer, so, or on their device. So you have to install the pixel into the, and I'll talk about how to do that in a second. Okay. So you install the pixel on your website. When somebody comes to your website, that pixel gets dropped onto their computer. When they go to the property that's the pixel's owned by, so if it's Facebook in this case, what will happen is I will go to my Facebook scroll, and I will get, let me go to my homepage here and we'll see if I have any ads. I seem to get them as a dime a dozen. Let's see.
That's cool, Lena.
It's similar to our ad acceleration, where we ask them to put that pixel on their website so that we can retarget. It's a similar concept.
Yeah, it is. It's the retargeting mechanism for like this would be one. So this shows up because every once in a while I'll click on this, it keeps the thing. So now I am served that ad by Facebook because they know that I've been to that website within the last 90 days.
Right.
Okay. All right. So that's what ends up ends up happening on that. So that's why you need to have the pixel installed. Well, most people don't know to install the pixel. That's the biggest part of the problem. So what happens is they run the ad, somebody interacts with the ad, and they don't go back and reinforce it the next time somebody comes and reminds them who they are. So you only get like a one-off type of a situation. So you need to have that pixel. So we're gonna kind of talk about how to generate that, because I don't know that most people even know they need to.
Okay. Let me just say one thing. Hey, Lena, I have a 12 o'clock conference call. So if this goes over, would you take notes for me and we can? Okay. Cool.
Well, I'm going to go you one better. So what I'm going to do is go stick this on SEO 411 and on SEO on ACTWD. They'll be there. So you can go replay the whole thing. I'll need to kind of take out the dog and the beginning, but once I get it all edited, I'll get them put up there. Okay. So just ACTWD.com or SEO411.com.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so they'll be on both sites, so you can go pick up 30 minutes in. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so that's part of the story. Okay, so the next thing becomes, how do I install said pixel and what do I do? So that's, I think, becomes the next part of this. So the first thing that you need is of course, you need your business website. And I'm going to say, before you get involved with doing the pixel, if you have a WordPress website, and I'm going to assume, because when I teach everybody they should be using WordPress. The Wix Weebly web contingency have a very difficult time ranking, and I think the estimate is 94% of those sites will never rank in Google.
Wow.
What type of site won't rank in Google?
94% of the Wix, Weebly, Web, and Squarespace contingency will not rank in Google.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know that or not, but we've seen estimates that go that high on it. And let's kind of talk. I can talk through. Do you need me to talk through why that is real quick? Do you know why that is? Or
I have no clue.
I would assume it has something to do with their algorithm. I wouldn't know exactly.
No, not an algorithm problem specifically. So the first thing is, on the those websites, when you sign up with them, you sign up as a subdomain. So it would be, SEO411.wix.com, and that's where all your files live. Now they'll tell you you can use your own website, and what you do is you create an alias record for SEO 411 so that when I type in SEO 411, it goes to the live site, which is SEO411.wix.com, and it serves those pages masked as if it's SEO 411. So Google knows that that's the case. The next piece of that problem is a lot of those people do not realize that indexing is turned off on the domain side of it and not on the what am I trying to say? It's turned off on the domain, but not on the subdomain. So the subdomain is indexable, the live domain is not. So you can move that around a little bit. The next thing is the code is cookie cutter, and when it outputs, it doesn't necessarily output as cleanly. So like I probably could go take a site and get it tweaked and ranked in Wix, but your average business owner does not know all these tweaks that have to be done. They had a contest with some pretty high-end SEOs to see who could get some pages ranked, and they were able to do it. But you have to have my skill set to be able to get a web page ranked in Wix. And frankly, the end user doesn't really have the budget to have somebody like me go in and fix their Wix site so it would rank right.
Okay, so
that's why they're in Wix in the first place.
Interesting.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes. May I repeat this back? So what happens is that people don't realize indexing is turned if they use where am I here? Wix, etc. They don't realize that the indexing is turned off on their site, but it's turned on in the subdomain. Is that right?
Right. That's a piece of it. Yes, that is a piece of it.
All right.
That's one piece of it. The next is that the code itself is cookie cutter code. So a lot of times code is not as clean as it needs to be. And you are somewhat limited by the code. And what I will tell you is just simply by picking up a website that was built in Wix, copying it word for word into WordPress, that site, I can make that site rank simply by just doing that.
Okay.
Wow.
Just and we've seen that happen repetitively. So there's just a lot of bad things that happen in my mind for this. And really what it comes down to is, can I do it? Yes. Can the average Joe on the street do it? Probably not.
Probably not, but they think they can.
Right.
Or they think they can, or they think, well, this was easy, or this is what I hear. And to me, Squarespace is a little bit interesting in this. Squarespace is the little square cube, right? The little swipey square cube. That's what they did. They invented a web design platform to get small businesses to sign up for them so they could sell them the little square. So it's a loss leader for them, okay? Yeah. But the people think, oh, well, why would this company set up something that I would not succeed using? And that there's just this natural intrinsic trust that you should trust those people because they gave you this platform. And I think that's a little bit not the best way to approach things.
Right.
And they don't ever think about, well, what happens if Squarespace tomorrow wants to start selling ice cubes and they stop selling financial products? Now all of a sudden your whole website's tied to them. So this is where people don't really think through the process. And then the other thing is the customization that you need to do to understand how to assemble a website. You can't, I could do it, but I don't think normal people can do it.
Right.
And the problem is that they make you think it's okay. I just picked up one yesterday. Somebody said to me, go look for this firm. Here, let me do it in a window that you can see what I'm doing. Where'd my Safari window go? That's live. Okay, here. So I went to this he said to me, okay, so just look at my live site before you just go building one, go look at the live site. So I went there and I did this. And first of all, he's not there. You can see that. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first one. My customer is not there. Okay. And then I was like, okay, so I can't find your website by putting in the name of the business. So let me put your name in. Now, are you going to do business with somebody that has a title tag of that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go fix that for them. We're going to build them a new site. They're already all signed up. Happy, joy, right? But the reality is that you want me to believe you're a good business. I go
Yeah.
Google you, and this is what I come up with.
Yeah.
That it's built on Wix. And they were, the answer was, well, I didn't know how to use Wix, and we did this, but you're not
No.
going to. That looks to me like a fly-by-night. I don't even know. Maybe they're
Right.
Yeah, that is so common in today's I can do it myself marketing world. You
Yes.
run across something they've done and you're thinking, oh my gosh.
Well,
How did you
and
think
this
was gonna
is
work?
a great example.
Right.
Yep.
And Beth, may I ask a question, and you can give me a range? What type of fees do you charge for, managing SEO and SEM for people? Do you do that?
Oh yeah, that's my primary business. So
Yeah.
Anywhere from 500, I have got some up to 10,000. I think it just depends on the business, what they're wanting to look for, what it is. I mean, if you're a weight loss person, I can't charge you $500.
Right.
So
But you don't do a percentage on their spend?
No, well, okay. So I'm not doing a percentage on their spend because at the end of the day, I'm not buying ads for him. I'm going to make that site rank organically.
Mhm.
So like, let's kind of look, let me drop back here and show you this. Hold here a second. I've not had to buy an ad on this website now for ever. So if I put in light poles,
Mm-hmm.
let me come down. I'm right here. This is me.
Okay.
This is me.
All
This
right.
is me. This is me.
Interesting.
And I was here this morning or last night, so I must be at the top of the second page. Hold on. Which I'm not happy about that. I'll go put it back on the next page. Don't worry about it. And this is me. So I literally have the top, the images, the map view.
Yep.
Mhm.
The click-throughs on this thing are driving this. I mean, this business is making, $100,000 a month at this point.
Nice.
I don't spend $1 on advertising. It's
Got
all
it.
done through organic search. Now, if I decided I wanted to come back and spend that, we would probably make more. I will say that. But this thing is ranked on, I think it's got about 8,000 or 9,000 terms it's ranked on.
Okay.
Wow.
Thanks.
So, and I
Wow.
don't pay $1 for it. So that's why I don't charge them a percentage of spend, because it has nothing to do
Right.
with the spend. It has all to do with okay, so Google had I can't see it because I'm logged in. Let me see if I'll do it this way here. I don't think I'm logged in on this browser, but then you can't see this browser. I have, if you put in tennis court lighting, I actually have the rich text snippet box in there.
Mm-hmm.
The traffic's down on it because of the pandemic, not because.
Right.
Yeah.
But I have this box here, and then I follow it right back up with the organic listing right here.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's why I don't have to do a percentage of spend. I just do a flat retainer, and then we go and make it rank on thousands and thousands and thousands of words, because I don't spend $1 on AdWords.
All right.
Now,
Thank you.
It's so cool to hear so we have a whole team that manages all that, and it's just so neat to hear how it all works, because I'm always curious how the internal workings of SEO and SEM work. It's so neat.
Well, and they're complementary of each other if you do them
Mhm.
right.
Sure.
The SEM people like to push it because they can get results. They talk a lot about, hey, we'll get you leads. What I find is that the organic leads are far more valid than the SEM leads are.
Yeah, don't like 80-something% of people click on the organic lead versus the ad anyways?
Yes, from that standpoint, yes, but I actually mean the quality of the lead once the person, so if I have an SEM campaign at the top of the page and I'm in the SEO part, if they click on the SEM ad, those people are far less likely to buy. If I come down into the SEO piece, those people are far more likely because they're in a different part of the funnel. So
Yeah.
that's the other piece of that is I always like to try to get them from the organic side because I have a higher close rate. So I can, the quality of the customer on an organic click is a higher quality than a paid for lead, because that's just a random Joe going, hey, send me more information. It
Right, they're
is
still
not
in
far
research
down
mode.
the funnel.
Yeah.
Right. So with that, SEM leads, you have to start to bring this down, and then you need to make sure that you're going after them, that you've dropped pixels on their computer, that you remind them, because you're like, all right, so somebody's saying they can't open this thing now. I wonder why they're saying that. See, I just got crazy going on here because it's the wrong class. That's why. This lady went to the wrong link. I can just tell by that. Hold on. Can I get you? Is it all right with you guys if I just grab her the right link?
No problem. Your business.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, no, I appreciate
your
you.
time.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm trying to, I'm trying to get as many in here. I don't know why they're not. I don't know what they're doing. They're all crazy. Let me see. There we go. It's just going to take me. By the way, this is where they are here. If you see, I just actually did one on Search Console last time. So this one will be right up here next to it.
Oh, nice.
And then the webinar class schedule is right here. So I'm guessing she went to the lady that's in my email box went to the wrong place. Try that one. Okay. All right. So let's kind of go with that piece right now. All right. All right. So back to you for a second here. Let's go back over to here. So anyway, as I'm looking through all these things, that's a piece of that. And I, like, to me, if I don't have to spend anything, if I'm making money and I don't have to spend out on ads, I don't want to spend it. And that's to me, the organic dollar is far better spent because it's a better client and it's a better and it's a lower overhead. So that's why I don't do a percentage of spend, because they're basically paying me to make it do what this is doing here, which is sitting in the number 1 or number 2 position. And most of my people over a long term, I mean, we have thousands on the first page. That's where, so it's kind of funny because sometimes people will come back and they'll talk about 1 or 2 results on the first page. On average, I have 200 results in the 1, 2, or 3 spot.
Nice.
And then we can start to slide down from there. So that's the average. And then of course, the longer we're there, the more exponential that goes up. This LED spot site we've been working on now probably for the better part of 10 years. I have probably 539 that are sitting at number 1, 2, or 3.
Nice.
And then there's another 1,000 plus that are just 4 through 10. So you're talking a couple thousand terms sitting on the front page free of charge 24/7.
Wow.
So it's just an interesting thing. So, and every business has to be assessed to make sure that the right people are coming in the right order too. I think that sometimes that doesn't work. Like this, the lighting business would work from a paid for campaign because of the Google Shop side of this page. So at some point, I really do need to evaluate whether we need to go down this road, because I actually think that this, by not being in this box, is costing us some. So although I'm sitting with the number 1 or 2 over here, I think these here are probably a little bit. I don't understand why they're saying I can't get in. So strange. Well, they're all going to have to watch the video if they can't get in. It's just going to be us. All right. That's what they get for being late. Maybe that's the real problem. All right. So let's come back to Facebook and let's go back. So before I do anything.
Beth, I'm going to interrupt right here and say, I'm sorry. I'm really enjoying this, but I need to leave the meeting.
Okay.
And as you do other websites, would you put Lena and I on your list so that we know about them?
Will you do me a favor? Send me an email to Beth@SEO411. We actually do one every Wednesday. I have a class somewhere in this city. While we're all grounded, I will be on the webinar 11 to 1 every Wednesday from here on out.
Okay. Beth@SEO411.com.
Yeah, at Beth@SEO411.com, and I will get you a class schedule. I haven't sent out this class schedule for this month yet. So if you get it into me today, I'll go ahead and get you added before I put this class.
All right, Lena, I'm going to add you to that too, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Beth. I'm sorry I have to jump. Okay.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about, and if Lena, if you have any questions, please jump in, okay?
Okay.
But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw in a Facebook pixel before I do anything. I'm going to actually put the software on my Facebook site. So if I go to SEO411.com, let's go here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to log in. I've got to download this real quick. Let me put it here on my desktop. Save. All right. I'm going to go to plugins. See, and like this little Doomaflachi here would be something that you couldn't add to a Squarespace website. So that would be, this is an example of a tool that I need that I can't just go add. All right, so I added that. Let's see if it's here. So I'm going to install my plugin. I'm going to tell it install now. And it's installing.
Now I want to go through all of my customer websites and figure out who they're using.
What for, you mean whether they're using
Like,
WordPress or?
Yeah, exactly. What platform they built their website on. It's not something I've ever really thought much about.
Well, and I think it's a really important piece to think about, because if it's on the wrong platform, I will tell you, I flipped that website of LED spots out in February, and my traffic, I was looking last night, I went from a customized platform to WordPress on February 1st, and that website was getting 7,900 uniques a month, unique people. It's now at 11,500.
Wow.
And that's just, and that's in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Where the traffic is down. That's in a pandemic. I'm up that much. So I can't say enough good things about this, because it's like not. Let me see. There's another. All right, let me do this one here, because this one didn't work right. Hold on, I'm doing my download here again, because the one that I picked did not seem to want to work. So let's pick the second one. All right, so the one I'm going to install is called Pixel Your Site. Come here, Daisy. Here, get on in front. All right, so we have it. We're going to activate it. So now I have it in my tree, so that I can go ahead and get this activated and get the details put in on it. And what I think it's going to do is just simply ask for, where is it here on the side? I've got so much stuff on this website, it's like not even funny. Let me see. I need to clean out some of these plugins, really. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Probably because I'm blind. All right, well, I'll come back and find it in a minute. It won't be hard to find. Well, it might be, but. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. You're not seeing it either, are you?
No, I don't see it.
it's on the page level. That's what I think it is. I think it's on the page level. No pixel configure, add Facebook. Here it is here. Say start tracking everything now. And then it comes up with the situation. So now that we have that, it's going to go, we can put our Google ID in, we can put our Facebook Pixel ID in, you can put the header for Google Analytics with this thing. You can put a tag with tag managers, and it gives you a whole lot of different things that we can use. So that's a good thing. All right, so let's go back to Facebook here, and let's kind of commence onward. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and get a pixel, and we're going to put it into our events manager. And the address for that is, I think it's business. Let me put it in here, and I'll tell you what the address is. It's facebook.com events manager and then pixel. Okay, so it's going to come in, and it's going to give you my my account, because that's what I'm logged into, and I'm actually going to try to add it on to the one that I want to do this on, and not on the one that like the new page that I just made, not on the whatchamacallit. So these are the pages that are already set up. We need to go to, where is it? It's up here somewhere. Excuse me, I hit the wrong button. It's that's the events. I had it before. Hold on a minute. I apologize that I'm stuck here a second. Let me make my window. It was up under here. I had this all set up, and then somebody came back, and it was like, yeah, that one already has one. Does this one have one? Because I have multiple accounts, it's not showing up as if it was the only one. That's the problem I'm having. So see, this one doesn't have a data source. It doesn't have a Facebook's pixel. So we can start here. We'll click Start Facebook Pixel. And I can tell it Pixel's name, and it asks me what my web address is. So I'm going to put that in here.
Is it important to put the HTTPS, or can you just put www?
Yes.
Okay.
And make sure you put the S. That's a big deal.
Okay.
All right. And then it's going to want to say manually add the code to the website, or this that you have. See, this one has, and I'm going to show you a trick here so you understand the difference. See, it says connect your website to a partner, including Squarespace, website, shop, or WordPress, Shopify. This is not the WordPress I'm espousing. This is WordPress.com.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about WordPress.com. I am talking about WordPress.org. And I think that's a big litigation that we have. And the problem is that WordPress.com is just as proprietary as some of these other ones are. So we're going to go with manually add the pixel code. And you see it's given us the code here to add. And remember, we went back to our site here and it says add it. We're going to add the code here to have it. Okay. So we can add our code in that box there, and it's all ready to go now. And in fact, it really only wants the pixel ID. It doesn't even want all the code. It just wants the pixel ID. So the pixel ID on this one is, here's the pixel ID right here. It took the whole thing, but you see that number there? That's the number they need, is just that.
Okay.
That's the ID that they need, and that number just needs to go into this software on that line.
Okay.
So I'm going to take this all out because we've got way more than we need. So when I do this now and I hit update, what it's going to do is it's going to take that ID and it's going to match it to this page. And every time now somebody comes to this page, it's going to drop that pixel on there. So the next piece of this becomes, so now I've got that symbiosis going between website visitor and Facebook setting. And the thing is, I think that if you don't have that going on, when you run an ad on Facebook, it starts to become a one and done effect. Whereas if you have this pixel, that ad is going to start to show way more frequently. And if you notice that the people that put the ads up, they refer you back to a website. They don't refer you to another Facebook page. They actually refer you usually back to a website where you can buy a product, buy a, visit something, get information, call somebody. But they all go back to a website, and it's that action between going to a website. So this becomes the next thing we need to think of. And you guys both had come in here and and we were talking about what to do with businesses in a pandemic. And I think this becomes a good situation on this. So if I had a janitorial service, what I might do is put together a guide that talked about how do I clean my house to avoid coronavirus, written by a janitor. And then what I would do is take that article or that page or that PDF, however I decided to deliver it, and I would stick it out on my website. I then would come back to Facebook and create an ad that says something to the effect of, the homeowner guide to pandemic survival written by the janitor. What that does is I've now created an ad that caused a presence of mind to that janitor. If I happen to be a small business owner and now I know of a janitorial service, I start to create awareness for that brand. So that brand's put themselves in a path to me that has interest to me at a time that I would not necessarily be looking at a janitorial service. I may or I may not. I think it just becomes that becomes who is that person? What the next thing I could do is I could then proceed to do something like target those people based on what their jobs are. So we're going to kind of create a little bulk ad here, but that starts to be those types of things that we need to think about. How can I take a pandemic that's really bad and put myself in the middle of it? See this here? Thank you. This little mat. Boy, do I wish I had invented that little mat, because I would be selling it everywhere.
Right.
I
was wondering, I was in HEB the other day and I was wondering what printing company is making a killing off of printing.
Making mats for practice. Thank you for so you can go stand in the social distancing mat. So that they're measured out and you did the right thing.
Yeah.
So, right, exactly. But that's the way you have to see it. So I as I was talking about the janitor company, I talked to a janitor company yesterday that they said that ever since this has started, that they have had a better set of returns on anything that they've ever done, because what everybody's wanting to know is, how do I clean my my apartment? How do I clean my house? How do I clean my business? And then the business owners are just hiring the janitorial services to do it, as opposed to doing it themselves. And I completely respect that, because I wouldn't. Look how cute that puppy is. Anyway, I mean, I'm a dog person. I don't.
Me too. My Instagram feed and my Facebook is all dogs.
Mine too. That's exactly correct. So we like dogs right here.
Yep.
This is what's on my desk, sharing my day with me today.
Oh.
So every meeting we've had at some point.
Oh, I love it.
I'm sorry to wake you up.
My dog is sound asleep next to me, thinking like, "What the heck are you doing, lady?"
Well, they just keep going Saturday. Anyway.
Yeah.
You're funny.
You're still here. Yay, walk me.
Yeah, what's happening? You don't ever stay home like this. What's going on? Either that or they're running around going, when are they leaving? Why are they here?
Right.
So,
I actually contacted my vet because I was like, my dog sleeps all day. Should I be worried? And he's like, well, he probably sleeps all day and you never noticed it. Like, oh yeah, I'm an idiot. Sorry.
All right, so let's come back and let's start into like making an ad. So let me go to my new nifty little page that I created. My little demo page. I still have them telling me they can't get in. I really don't know why they can't get in. 100 of them.
I clicked in through the link on LinkedIn, so I don't know.
I don't know what they're doing, but we'll just solve that at a later date. Why do you keep doing this? I don't want to go there. I want to go here. All right, my pages. All right, so here's my new page. It's gonna probably complain at me and tell me that I don't have a whatchamacallit on it. But we're gonna talk about what to create an ad with. So I'm gonna create my first ad here. And it's going to say, what do I want to do? Do I want to get more bookings? Do I want to get more messages? Do I want to promote my page? I'm going to tell you that my opinion is I always try to go to promote my page or get more website visitors, because the thing is everything comes off of that website. So look, first of all, they're complaining about my image is too small. They don't like this. So we'll have to kind of fix that, but we're going to add the website that we want to promote. So we're going to put that in. And remember, I told you, always put the S in so it doesn't throw an error.
Good to know.
All right. And then it's going to say, choose the type of image or video format you'd like to use in this ad. So I'm going to tell it that I think I want to use a single image, and I'm going to pick it out of browse my library. Let's see if what I have here that I can use and make it look make it look reasonable. Here, let's do this. This is just the art of architecture. We're going to do that. All right, so we've got this. So this is so it's got some generic text here, but my ad is going to be about my SEO at 411 Academy, right? So online training, digital marketing training from SEO 411. Long-standing digital marketing clinic to a webinar. Okay, and they're gonna want this to be, and I kind of like how this is all, this picture's kind of actually cropped a good way. I kind of like how it's cropped.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to tell it I want to do learn more, because I want them to come to my website. I don't want them to go to, is there a special ad category for credit, enrollment, or employment? The answer is no. And then we're going to start. This is the most important thing, is this is know thy audience. All right. So the first thing is, and I'm going to ask you questions as I put this together. And the reason why is because I've got some really good, I want to do this by. So this ad, do I want to do it by location in the United States, or do I want to do something different?
Well, I mean, anybody could take it, but is the purpose for you to eventually bring them on as clients? Like,
yeah.
do you?
So I'm going to actually lock this into Houston for right now. That's exactly what I'm thinking. So when I pick this, and this is more for example's sake than anything, but I'm going to pick the Houston DMA, because that's going to go all the way out to Huntsville. And it's going to be a much wider. So for those that don't know what a DMA is, that's the digital marketing area that like, television signal sends to, right? So that's the more, that's a very broad. So you see how it's 4 million people that are in this. And so that's the right audience for us for this. The other thing is I'm going to look at their age, and I'm looking at their age, because anybody that's going to want to learn digital marketing, they're not going to probably be an 18-year-old. That's going to be, we want somebody that's a serious person so I might say 25. And I don't know that I think that anybody over 65 is really going to want to hear about what I have to say. So, and I'm going to knock that down to 60 and hard cap it at that. And the reason I did that is because you figure by the time somebody's 60, I don't want a 70 or an 80-year-old person coming to the webinar saying, how do I use my iPhone?
Right.
Right. Okay. That's, and no offense. I mean, we have some that are very smart, but for the most part, we're going to have more. How do I, we're talking about digital. Is that what my iPhone is for? No.
Yeah.
So we're going to come down to there. So that's going to do. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking at who I match with. So we can add demographics, interests, or behaviors, right? So I know my client or my potential client, because what I will say is these classes become like a lead gen of sorts.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say I want a CMO.
Right.
If I get CMOs here. All right. So I've got the Forbes CMO network as an interest. So I'm going to say, okay, I'll take that one. And now see what it did is by putting it into that, it said my address, my audience is too small. So I may take that out because it's saying there's only 700 people in that.
Right.
So let's say, let's try marketing. Let's just try marketing. Okay, job titles, marketing officer. See, when I put the C in, that didn't help me too much. But see, it's also now telling me that this job title might be too small. Now, do I want to whittle this down to the CMO at this point? No. So I'm going to back him out because it's too small to come to the officer relationship. But let's see if we can't go with just marketing in general and see what we've got here. We've got the director. We've got marketing. Let's do it this way. We've got the officer. We've got the interest of marketing. All right. So we'll see when I put marketing, it bumped it back out to 16.6 million, right? Let's see. What else do we want? We want web design. Let's see if we can put that in. So we want a web design, and we probably want a web designer. All right, because that's a job title, so I think that's a good thing. So we'll put that in. Let's see, what else can we do here? Who else is good?
Maybe small business owner.
Yeah. All right, so that's who is the employers is the small business owner. Hey, if you're going to do that, you need to get down. All right, let's see, what else do we have? We have, let's put in the word manager and let's see, because we really would like to reach some of our decision makers with this. So if I go with a manager, that's probably going to pull in everybody. Well, it says I made that audience too small by putting that in there. So let's go ahead and kill that off. Let's leave that. So right now, my potential audience size on my things that I put in here is 1.7 million, and I'm going to save that. So you see what I did is I now targeted that as our new our audience. Now, one thing that I have is I have had predefined before. So I'm going to create a new audience here with this. And let me see if I crept it all. Yeah, I did. I'm going to call this SEO Academy. So what it's going to do is it's going to save that. So next time I run an ad for SEO Academy, I may or may not choose to change that. Okay. Now, the one thing I don't like is the expert piece. I mean, we are Houston SEO experts. I mean, that's what we do and that's what it's doing. But I want to change my headline on this. What I want to say is online digital marketing training. Digital marketing training. All right, see, I'm over my line. So maybe I don't want to say that. It's free marketing training. What about that? That works. See? So now you see what I have, free marketing training.
Yeah.
And I have my little thing there. So you see how I've kind of made that a little bit more relevant, and I'm kind of looking at that way. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to say add placement request. Yes. I'm going to tell it I want to run the ad continuously. I want to run it on a $5 a day daily budget. I'm doing it, and then see, it asks for my pixel, right? So it picked this arc pixel because that's the one that's there. But if I had multiples of it, I could pull down and it would give me the right pixel for the right, so I have the right pixel involved.
Okay.
And it would charge my PayPal account, which I don't want it to do, and I would hit the promote button and my ad would start to run.
Okay.
Now, the trick to this all is what am I going to do with these people that go to this page, and what am I going to put on this page? And I think that's where most people fall down, is what does the page that this goes to needs to look like? I sent it to the homepage just for demonstration purposes, but really what we need to do is we need to build a page that talks about our offer for online digital marketing training.
Or else your bounce rates go through the roof.
Otherwise, yes, and you've really kind of wasted your money. That's part of the problem. So I would rather send it to this page that says ACTWD and SEO are running this expanded webinar series. Here's our classes. And then here's the, here's the YouTube channels, and then here's the ones that we have. And I'm going to, as we do these, I'm going to roll them underneath this. Actually, I'm actually going to put them on top. So the next one up, this right here, it's going to end up with the one sitting in there, that one we're doing today after I clean it all up and get the dogs and barking and all that out of here. They crack me up. So that's what we'll do. So this is the one I did last week. We'll put this week's here, and then it'll be out there for public information for everybody. So the trick of this all is to be able to set that ad up right. The other thing you have to decide is, and I think at some point, I'm not going to do it today, but we're going to talk about ClickFunnels and how to move them all down, because that's a whole nother aspect of this. Is how do I make a Facebook ad and then move somebody down the funnel based on what they've seen and what they've had, and how do I make them continue to click, and so on.
How to nurture the leads. Yeah, that's another conversation I have a lot.
That's a whole nother conversation, and I think it's something, this is where small business misses this, in my opinion. They say, oh, I'm going to run a Facebook ad. And really what happens when you don't know what you're doing is you're basically putting an IV in your arm, which is your bank account, and just bleeding your money into these giants. And the problem is they make it sound simple, that anybody can do it, when the reality is not anybody can do it. You have to actually have a strategy. And I think if I had a room full of people, that would be what I'd be trying to tell everybody now, is to have a strategy.
Right. And that's what I'm coaching my clients on all the time. That's why I was really interested in the seminar as well, because I sell Facebook campaigns, but I'm not the one who does it. But at this point, obviously we're not in a point to be selling anything. So I want to be able to coach people through what they can do for now, but also make sure they understand that it's really important to have a strategy behind whatever they're doing. They can't just throw it out there and hope it works. I don't like those spray and pray type of things.
You're right. That is exactly what this becomes, a spray and pray. And I think it's probably the first time I've ever heard that, but that's exactly what it becomes. And it's kind of a funny thing, and it shouldn't be. And I feel bad that small business owners just jump into this and go do this. And now is really not the time to go do that.
Right.
So
right.
I think you have to have a strategy. It's kind of why I decided to do this today, to say, hey, look, have a plan. Have the page set up on your website. So if I had to give an encapsulated view of what to do, what I would say is, one, set the ad up after you have a page that speaks to what you're trying to tell somebody. Do not send the ad to your own page. Make sure that you have that Facebook pixel installed so that you can retarget back to those people, so that you can keep reinforcing it. The ad, you have to touch somebody 23 times now for that to get through to them. So how are you going to, so your one time they click on your ad, they need to see you repetitively on their scroll for them to be willing to do. So if you're going to do this and think we're only going to do this one time, then you just need to forget it and save your money, because you're not being effective. What it is, it's not people are going to swim by and accidentally hook themselves on you. And that's I always liken it as a fish. When I was a kid, we'd go fishing, and every once in a while you'd catch a fish and the hook would be in his side because it just was so stupid and ran into your hook.
Yeah, I call it putting up a billboard for one day and taking it down. I mean, how much impact does
Yes.
that can really make?
That's the same thing. So you may get one guy that swam by and did all of that, but the reality is you're not gonna get a lot. You know, you're not gonna get real far with all of that. So have a strategy, have a page, have a plan, and then build the ad. And the last thing is, and especially in this times, do not run ads because of desperation. If you don't have a plan when you weren't desperate, you're not going to have a plan when you are desperate, and you're going to waste a whole lot of money in the interim.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing that I would say to everybody, which you wouldn't do in a good time is something you shouldn't do in a bad time. If that makes sense. So I want to end on that note, if that's good with you. We
Yes.
have a lot. Usually I run these 2 hours because I have a lot of questions, but it's just you and me for the moment until we unlock the doors and let them all come in. So if you're good, I'm good.
I'm good. I really appreciate your time and that you continued with the class despite it not
no problem.
Getting lost. So
but and then if there's anything I can ever do for you, you know, please feel free to reach out.
And I actually have a client that I've been working with who she desperately needs SEO, and I'm not getting through to her, so I might send her in your direction just so she can, you know, talk to you. I think you could really do her a fantastic service that she needs desperately.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I would be very happy for that. And at some point, maybe you and I I'd say go to lunch, but maybe we can sit down and have a conversation if there's some symbiosis between us that we can.
Absolutely. Yeah, so, absolutely.
Okay. You have a great day. Good luck in the pandemic, and I'll see you next week. I haven't decided what I'm talking about next week, but I will be back. If you look on the screen, there's the second Wednesday of the month of the class here. So I will be back in this second tier. It's a different login. Each one of these have a different login. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, ma'am. You have a great day.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.